Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 3 playthrough. Darkness has prevailed
Checkmate.
and light has expired. Now where do we go from here?
And so darkness prevails, and light expires. You need a new strategy.
My move, isn't it?
Huh?
It's not over.
Come on, that's not fair. I know I had you.
Yes, you nearly did. But a game's no fun if you know where it's going. There's more to light than meets the eye. I told you. Some light comes from the past.
So yes, as the youth in white, or young Ericus said, it's not over yet. And now we get to one of the most ethereal moments in the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. This is a truly wonderful place.
Where am I?
Welcome to the final world. So the Keyblade Graveyard wasn't quite the final world, but this one is, and it really is the beginning of the end. If you sort of run about a bit, you'll instigate a cutscene, and we're going to be introduced to a little bouncing friend that anybody who has played Kingdom Hearts Union Cross will recognise. Or anybody who has watched any of the history books in Kingdom Hearts 3.
The name's Chirithy, and this is the final world.
I'm Sora. What's the final world?
There's nothing else beyond this. You've wandered here more than once before on your visits to the Station of Awakening, but I let that slide. The edges of sleep and death touch, and one can't help the occasional crossover.
Wait, death?
Yes, the natural end for those whose hearts and bodies perish together. But some persist and arrive here.
My heart and body perished? Does that mean...
Something is holding you here, refusing to let you go. You're hanging by a thread.
What about my friends?
I'm afraid that no one else arrived with you. And if they're not here, they're either gone forever, or they're clinging to the world you came from.
I'm going back!
Whoa! How exactly? You can't just wander out like your other visits.
What?
I told you. The other times you came here by your own choice. This time is very different. To become your old self again and return to the real world, you'll have to piece yourself back together in this world first.
Ah! Why am I in pieces?
What? No, not literally, of course. You're conceptually in pieces. On the inside, who knows? But on the outside, you're just fine.
Oh, okay. You kind of freaked me out there.
Oh boy. Usually, only a heart can reach the final world. But since you've clearly managed to retain some kind of form, that can only mean your body was cast into this world as well.
Okay, so then if I can find my body, that means I'll be able to go back?
Precisely. But there's a lot of you to find. You're going to be busy.
Indeed. And so we need to pick up
These
pieces
must be pieces of me.
of Sora. And in amongst them there are these glowing stars that are the hearts of others. There are many different stories here, and there are two actually very special cutscenes that are entirely missable, associated with these stars. Thankfully, once you have seen a star, you can't look at it again, so you don't have to worry about repeating them. But I will say that it's very, very, very easy to miss the two entirely missable cutscenes. I mean, I just thought, well, clearly they're just all text-based. I'm not going to miss anything by not checking them all out. No, I did miss something by not checking them all out. It's really quite embarrassing. I don't quite know how I managed to avoid any of the ones that instigated cutscenes, but there we go. Part of me is quite glad that I did end up missing them, because one of them very much will provide a spoiler for something that's about to happen, and I feel that it's best to just sort of avoid it. The other one is a mystery to pretty much everyone. I will show it off towards the end of the game. Don't worry, once we're in the extras, I will show you those extra scenes. But in my first run through here, I didn't realise they were there, and so I missed them entirely. And now we get to the second half of the final world. This weird construction with loads of different Soras. There are 111 in total. Actually, I think there's more than 111. But you need to get 111 in order to put yourself back together. I don't think you actually get anything for getting all of the Soras, but it's certainly something that you can do if you really desperately want to. I wouldn't if I were you, that there's very little point. But yes, you're going to have to use all of your movement capabilities throughout this. There's no way you can die here, so I'm pretty sure you sort of can fall off the edge and sort of you'll be just teleported back on, so there's no worries there. But yes, one of the things I should probably point out is that Chirithy is voiced by Lara Jill Miller, who I think most people, or at least most geeks like me, would recognise her as being the voice of Kari in the original Digimon Adventure series, and she's been in many other things, including Gimme a Break and The Amanda Show, but Kari Kamiya, I think, is the one that I will always go to as Lara Jill Miller, and she's just got a really, really awesome voice. And I wish that more places used her as a voice actress, because she is really quite awesome. But yes, I will say, the final world is very weird, but I remember getting to it and just thinking, oh my god, this is actually a world. It's not as big as any of the other worlds, but just in terms of its scope and its weirdness, it's just really, really quite awesome. And I think also narratively, this is all really fascinating. The fact that obviously they get to the Keyblade Graveyard and they lose. Like, they just get completely wiped out. And, like, I was not expecting that to happen. Not by a long shot. I mean, even though I knew what was sort of going to happen from the final battle trailer that they released, because prior to the release of the game, they did release a trailer that specifically detailed kind of bits of the final battle, so to speak. So we saw everyone getting wiped out. We saw Sora sobbing. We also saw some stuff that has yet to happen at this moment in time, which, I mean, part of me is just like, guys, why couldn't you have tried to leave these as surprises? But then equally, I know that half the reason that they didn't is because they knew that there would be those assholes on the internet who would just go and completely ruin the surprise for everybody else. And so by presenting certain bits and pieces in their own control, I suppose, and in a way that they were happy with, it sort of allowed Tetsuya Nomura and the team at Square Enix to sort of hide some of those more major spoiler moments in amongst everything else. So, like, you knew certain bits that are coming, but you don't know how it all fits together, and nobody was really able to sort of put that together until they actually played the game. It's not the most ideal way of marketing, but I think in our current culture, it makes sense that that was a choice that was made. Even if I know for a fact that I would have preferred to come up against all of this stuff as a complete surprise. I think that would have made me really majorly happy, but you take what you can get with these things. And also, I do really quite like the final world. I do think that they perhaps could have made it a little bit more in-depth, you know, given it a bit more of a purpose. Because really, this is quite a slow moment. And I suppose that's the point, because we are, at the end of the day, going into... well, we've already had a string of very high-octane action. And as we sort of move onward from this, we're going to continue in that frame of mind of high-octane action. So it makes sense to sort of have this quieter moment in here. But yes, we are ready to return and do it right this time. Like, we're not going to let everybody get destroyed. Not this time. Not again.
I see that you found them all.
Yup.
Then isn't it time that you left?
Oh, thanks.
What? I'm doing you a big favor here, you know. Don't push it.
Hey, Cheerthy, you still look like you, right? Would you like me to help you find your pieces?
Oh, I don't work like that.
So, like, you're waiting for someone to rescue you?
Sort of?
Well, tell me who. I'll find him. Huh?
No. That's okay. He doesn't remember the past. Besides, I'm sure that he's much happier with his new friends. But I'll wait. He'll arrive here one day.
Okay. I'll be back to visit you.
What?
You and me are friends now.
Really? I've missed having friends.
Well, see you around. And thanks.
Huh?
Could I get a hint how to save the others?
Seriously? Are you a Keyblade wielder, or aren't you? Haven't you already learned how to restore someone's heart after it's been lost?
Restore their hearts. Is that the same thing as the power of waking?
I'm not sure, but give it a shot.
No. This'll take all my heart. Okay.
Look for the light in the darkness. May your heart be your guiding key.